Hello, welcome to TUDOR Talk Extra Time, where it's finished here at Vauxhall Road, Hemel Town 1, Eastbourne Borough 1. It was a rather difficult day with the conditions. It was wet and windy, and I caught up with Sammy Moore at full time to find out what his thoughts were on the game. Sammy, a 1-1 draw there with Eastbourne Borough. See, they've got a new management team, so it's a bit of the unknown. What do you think of that performance?
First half, I thought we were slow to get out of the blocks. We never really got going the tempo. And we said, the conditions was tough. But, we said if we don't start right, then they'll get their tails up, and they'll sense the opportunity to try and come here and get a result. So I was disappointed with the first half, even though that we created a couple of good chances. And then a few harsh words were said at half time. I wanted us to come out and be on the front foot, get the ball wide, and I thought second half we was outstanding. We got the goal we deserved. What we talked about at half time. And then they score a goal out of nothing. We switch off, don't go with the runner. And it's a sucker punch. And then, when you're sort of trying to win the game, we changed things to try and win the game. We weren't happy with a point. We wanted to win the game, and that's the way we'll be. We'll be trying to get them 3 points. We won't just sit back and wait for our opportunity. We want to play attacking football. We want to try and win the game, and that's what we did. So they had a couple of chances, and we've had enough chances to go and win 2 or 3 games second half. Just didn't fall for us when we went 1-0 up. Ball pinged around the box. Cunnington had one go past the post. If that goes in, then we're comfortable winners. But disappointed that we didn't get 3 points, but it's another point where we need to be. So you've got to respect a point.
You talk about sort of just after half time there flying out the blocks, and Nash's goal was a well taken goal. We then changed it with Ricardo coming on for Craig. What was your thinking behind that sub?
Craig has got a tight groin. We can't risk getting him injured. I thought he was a threat going forward. So, it was likewise switch with Ricardo with his pace. Overall, I can't fault the players' efforts. They've been outstanding. The 14 games that we've been in charge. It's another point in the right direction. Disappointed we didn't get 3, but there becomes that expectation that all of a sudden we should be winning them games. We don't have the right to win every game, but we had enough chances there to go and win that game. We switched off for 1 minute, and we got punished.
Just want to touch on their equaliser. I think that was probably the only time, really, defensively, we were out of shape. And obviously, we did get caught on the break. But just before that, I was in the press box, and I thought, to a man there, everyone seemed to know their jobs. People dropping in when sort of Craig was going forward. So how pleasing is that?
Yeah, I thought second half, I thought we come out the block superbly. We got the goal we deserved, and then we was on the front foot again. The only time they got in our half was their goal, and it's come from our cross. It's headed out, we're out of shape, and then we don't go with the runner, with the wrong side, and to be fair to him, we took the goal well, but, it's little lessons learned that we got punished today. Sometimes you don't get punished on them kinds of attacks, and we got punished today. But I'm happy with the group. The effort, the desire to try and get them 3 points. Everyone who in the ground can see that we was trying to get them 3 points. It's another point in the right direction. Gives us 29 points after 14 games, and it's a good return. But everyone's we're looking up and we're chasing Willstone. So we got to bounce back next week and try and get 3 points.
Yeah, well, thanks very much for joining us in these rather wet and windy conditions.
Cheers, thank you.
As Sammy said there, the team were fighting to the end for the 3 points, and a player who was solid at the back was Mitch Dickenson, and I caught up with him at full time to see what his thoughts were on the game. Mitch, thank you for joining us at full time. What are your thoughts on that game?
We're absolutely gutted in there, to be fair. Feel like we should have been at least 2 or 3 up at half time. Could have see the game out, but it only takes one chance. I thought it was solid all game, us 4 at the back, but all it takes is one chance, and they've gone in with a great ball, but still got to defend better. But other than that, I thought it was gutting, to be fair, of the result.
Yeah, you talked about you being solid at the back. I thought you especially were great alongside Connor.
Yeah.
First half, the gaffer said it wasn't quite where he wanted us to be and wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
And I felt like second half we did come out of the blocks and get that goal from Nashi.
Definitely. Yeah, we changed shape. and I feel like we totally, absolutely dominated the second half. But it's no good dominating the second half if you don't score the goals. So it's frustrating. We're still second, we're doing well, but it's games like this you need to come and win. You drop points against Dorking and lost 2 points here, and Slough as well. They're the games that you need to win if you want to be at the top of the league.
So looking ahead to next week then, it's Concord Rangers away. Have you seen much of them this season?
I know a few of the boys there. I used to be at Jules with them when I was younger, so it'd be good to see them. They're a young team, there'll be a lot of energy. So it'll be another tough game, but every game's tough in this league. So hopefully looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
That's all we've got time for this edition of Tudor Talk Extra Time. Join us next week when we go away to Concord Rangers. But for now, goodbye.